Hey there, it's Carla Lynn Hall from Internet Famous VIP, and I teach bloggers how to create and sell digital products. Woo! Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Well, good morning, at least in the United States. I'm back in my New York City apartment today, and I'm giving my Maze for Marketing live stream tips. I gave you guys a break yesterday, but the weekend live streams were pretty epic, especially the one on Saturday for the royal wedding. If you haven't seen it, please go back and check it out because it was really special. I even did my hair. And well, actually, now that my hair is still nice and fresh looking, I'm taking advantage of that as well. So I'm Carla from Internet Famous VIP, and this is Maze for Marketing. So basically, if that your first time tuning in, every day this month, or almost every day this month, I am giving a live stream to teach how to sell your digital product. Your digital product could be an ebook or an online course or some kind of a PDF printable. And so I teach people how to create them. So in April, in my Internet Famous VIP group, I have this annual extravaganza called Amazing April, create your first or next digital product. And now that we have people that have created their first or their next digital product, the next natural step is people want to learn, how do I sell my digital products? So this month I'm giving a special tip every day. Oh, and by the way, most of these tips are coming from my new selling module. I have a course called Online Entrepreneur, and I'm releasing a new module called sales or selling digital products. And that video is available when you check it out at internetfamousvip.com/sell. That's internetfamousvip.com/sell, SELL. And but you can just tune into the videos, to these live stream videos every day on Facebook Live, and they will also make their way to YouTube. So perhaps you're seeing this on YouTube in the future at some point. So I was thinking about what today's topic was going to be, and it was originally going to be promote your product in your newsletter. And then I realized I should probably go back, take a couple of steps back, or maybe one step back, and say, have a newsletter, because not everyone does. And so my tip for today is for you to have a weekly newsletter that you send out to your fans and that you create an email list. So earlier in this month, I talked about how to have email opt-ins on your list, or why email is important, or maybe that's what this week is going to be about. But once you have people, once you have an email list, you have, you can basically gauge the strength, the power of your online business by the size of your email list. Like, these are the people who have made the choice, who have agreed to give you their email address. That is not necessarily an easy thing. If someone gives you their email address, that means that they want to hear from you. You are not forcing them to give up their email address. So when someone gives you their email address, you want to keep in contact with them. You want to continue the relationship. You don't want to ask for someone's, phone number and then never call them. Well, that is the same thing when you ask for someone's email address. You want to follow up with them and you want to stay in contact. And the other thing about having an email list is it's much more direct than any of the social media networks that you can think of. When you think about when you think about Facebook or Instagram or any of those things, they all have some kind of algorithm that chooses how people see your content, how often they see it, when they see it. But when you have an email list, you can send your newsletter out to your entire group, and they get it right away. It's very direct. And there's also conversion rates. Email also converts much higher than when you put a post in a social media or in Facebook or Instagram. So that's something else to think about. If you have been on the fence about starting an email list or a newsletter, I'm hoping that I can change your mind a little bit. Now, if you're on my email list, you might notice that I have been starting to do regular emails. And this was not an easy thing for me, but I knew that it was something I had to do. And I send them out on Mondays. There was a time when people would say, people only open them on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And so people would send stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I decided to experiment. Mondays just happened to be a really good day for me. And I have the time to, set up my week and create my email newsletter. So I send mine out on Mondays, because I figure if everyone's sending theirs out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or, in the middle of the week, I'm going to be different. And you can experiment. You don't have to listen to what, the gurus say about what you have to do. You don't have to listen to me, but you can try it. Try it for yourself before you say no. So the thing about having an email list or a newsletter is that it enables you to build your relationship with your tribe, with your people. The thing about an email is that you can be a little more intimate, you can be a little more vulnerable, you can talk about things a little deeper that you might not necessarily want to share in a blog post, but you definitely want to get your point across. So I'm going to just give a few reasons why having a weekly newsletter is a great idea, in my opinion. Okay, so what you can do, or maybe say 5 ways that you can use your email newsletter to build your list or to grow your relationship with your list. So one of the things that you can do, one of the easiest things that you can do when you have an email newsletter, you can send a link to your blog. So say you have a new blog post, you can send a link saying, oh, this is the blog post. So this week I was writing about blah, 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 blah. You give them a little teaser, and then if you want to read more, you can click here. That's like the most simplest thing you can do. And that also helps you to build traffic to your site. And you want to, get people to go to your blog, and sending people your newsletter will also remind them that you have something new, you have new content available. And you can also send people to other things. It doesn't just have to be your blog post. This month, traffic, I'm in New York City. You might not even be able to hear that like I can hear that. Anyway, some big truck must have passed by. Okay, so when you have an email list, that threw me. Well, not really, just kind of distracted me a little bit. So we're talking about having an email newsletter and the things. Oh, right, now I remember. So you can definitely link to your blog post, but you can also link to other things. So for example, I have been linking to my Facebook Lives that I've been doing, my live streams, because I want people to see the live streams. So I'm putting links in there. And because I'm doing them every day, not everywhere, almost every day, not everyone gets a chance to keep up with all of that. So I've been sending some of the highlights in my email newsletters. And hey, this week, these are some of the highlight videos that I did. Like in Monday's video, I said, hey, I did a really fun video on the royal wedding and how to use it to promote your digital products. You want to check that out. And I definitely linked to that. But I also linked to 3 other blog posts from the week because I was really fired up. So, oh, hi, Angela. How are you? Hi. So you could definitely use your email newsletter to get people to go where you want them to go. You can send them to your blog post. You can send them to your Facebook Live. You can send them to Instagram. The whole thing is you can give them some kind of call to action and ask them to do something, or, suggest them, to check out things. So anyway, so link to a blog post. That's one of the most simplest things you can do in your email newsletter. Another thing that you can do in your email newsletter is to just share something that you've learned in your niche. Sometimes things happen and things move so quickly, and just like we can talk about it in Facebook, we can also talk about things in our newsletter. So for example, GDPR, the whole privacy email business that I'm kind of behind on, and I need to get on that really quick. A lot of people are talking about that in their emails. So I will eventually get to that, but I'll probably be like right at the last minute because I have a lot of other things that I'm juggling right now. But people have been talking about that right now because it's a hot topic. So people are using that as a subject matter in their newsletter because it's people want to know about it. People are like, how do I do it? How do I use it? What's this all about? And if you don't know what GDPR is, it's basically, there's a new law that was enacted, I think in Europe, and if you have email, if you have people in your list who are from the European Union, as of May 25th, you have to have certain certain protocols set on your blog post to ensure that people know, or that people, members of the European Union know that you are keeping their data safe. We're talking a lot about big data and privacy, and we now have to make adjustments to make sure that we are doing things by the book. So you'll be hearing more about that, but not from me just yet. But when you learn something or you're working on something, you can share that in your blog post as well. And you can entertain. I've seen blog posts where they're not really doing that much, it seems like, but they're really entertaining to read. I'm on a whole bunch of email lists, and I don't clean them up. I don't unsubscribe because I'm always interested to see what people are talking about. I'm always interested to see the trends that people are talking about. And some people are just really good at writing entertaining emails. And you know what? Practice makes perfect. We are not born being perfect writers or perfect copywriters, but writing is a craft, and that's something that gets better when you do it over time. And an email newsletter is no different. I feel like I'm getting better at writing newsletters now that I'm doing them on a regular basis. So if you're not doing a regular weekly newsletter, I want you to start thinking about it and get that muscle started. Just creating that, thinking about that creative content. What are you going to write about? What's your topic going to be? But you can also do things like have sort of themes so that you have something to write about in your newsletter, but you also talk about in your Facebook post. And maybe you also have a related picture on Instagram or Pinterest or whatever it is that you do. You don't have to write about a whole bunch of different things. You can just have one theme or one topic each week and spread it out through these different through your different social networks. So that's one other way to make things interesting, because you know what, not everyone is going to read everything that you do. The people who are on your email list, whether or not they read your email list, they may or may not be on reading your Facebook page. They may or may not be on your Pinterest or your Instagram. So don't be afraid to also repurpose some of the things that you're talking about in your newsletter or your social networks, because you can write something once or create something once and then, repurpose it. So I like to do that in my newsletters. I personally like to have like a theme and work them out through my various, social networks each week. For me, that's just, it's more streamlined to have one topic and write about that, as opposed to having all these different things and I'm all over the place. So that's just something to think about. Share an actionable tip. So yes, share an actionable tip. You can definitely teach people how to do something, just something simple. Give them one little, nugget of information that they can use, and you're out. That's it. That's a wonderful thing. And let's see, entertain, and promote an offer, definitely. And of course you can promote an offer. As I said, today's topic was going to be promote your product in your email newsletter. And yes, you can definitely do that. You don't want to do that all the time. You don't want to be that person that every time they come to you, every time they show up in your inbox, you're like, buy my thing, or buy this other person's thing, because you can also share affiliate offers. But you want to mix it up. But then there's some of you who might feel uncomfortable about promoting your products in your newsletter. But please understand that you have nothing to be nervous about. These are the people, your tribe. They have chosen to be on your list. They want to hear from you. They want to hear what you have to say. So that means you can provide lots of value and also share offers as well. Do not hide your light. As I said, that is this month's. That's the basic theme behind everything that I'm doing this month. Do not hide your light. You have created this product that could help someone perhaps change their life. So let people know. Don't hide it. Don't keep it to yourself. All right, so I'm going to summarize the things that you can do in your email newsletter, in your weekly newsletter. Okay, so you can link to a blog post. You can share something that you've learned in your niche. You can entertain, you can share an actionable tip, and you can promote an offer. So those are the things that you can do in a weekly newsletter. And I would like for you to give it a shot. If I can do a newsletter, if I can finally get myself organized and motivated to make it happen, then anyone can do it. Because basically I've been putting it off for years, I'm telling you. So just think about your tribe and your people and your long-term goals. And also remember that having an email newsletter that goes out every week helps, for people to bond with you, and writing a newsletter also helps your copywriting skills. The more you do, the better you get. So that is me for today. That's Carla Lynn Hall signing out. And I hope that you're having a great May and you're doing lots of marketing and you're promoting your products. If you have any questions, please post them below, or if you're in the group and you want to know anything, you want to pick my brain, please do so. And I am Carla Lynn Hall signing out from Internet Famous VIP. Oh, and if you want to check out my freebie, the new selling video, the how to sell your digital products video, check that out at internetfamousvip.com/sell. So I will see you tomorrow. Oh, thanks, Angela. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I'll see you soon. All right. Bye.